What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the 740 Sports Show.
Number 20.
Number 20, Bub.
The Big 2-0.
The Big 2-0. I'm Eric, as always. This is longtime brother Bub in the house, as always. Welcome, Bub. How was your Wednesday?
Chaotic.
That's the way it goes.
Thursday gets chaotic as well.
And then the end.
But then it starts all over.
Starts all over again. End of the month stuff, right?
Yeah, it's just life.
I get the grind. That's the way that it goes. But we're going to sidetrack you for at least a little while, Bob.
Give me away from it.
For episode 20, because we've got a great one lined up here, and we're just going to go ahead and give the people a little idea as to what they can look forward to in this episode. But we're going to be recapping the game. We're going to be talking about what that unfortunate loss means for the Buckeye program going forward. We're going to be keeping it in the 614 with our buddy Matt Hump. We're going to hear from Matt Hump. Did you know that?
You did tell me that.
I did tell you that, and that's going to happen here on the 740 Sports Show. Then you're going to get your opportunity to shine, Bub, with your top four.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to look into the future, Bub.
Yeah. Really need to remember those teams.
Yeah, well, you've got about now to whenever that segment comes up.
Oh,
so,
yeah, plenty of time.
Good luck to you, and then we're going to shift things over to the NFL world, talk about some of our Hall of Fame semi-finalists and who we'd like to see in the Hall.
Absolutely.
And then we're going to discuss a little bit of Philadelphia beating everybody and wrap it up with some of our favorite football plays. So let's just get right into it, Bub. Recapping the game. An unfortunate 30-24 loss for the Buckeyes.
You just can't stop them for 8 minutes at the end of the game.
It's tough.
You just can't do it. Just can't.
Yeah, well, we've seen that. Unfortunately, seen that on repeat throughout the last few years, and that's really what it came down to.
Yep.
Michigan surgically took care of business to wrap the game up, man. Just executed. Sheer execution.
They had a really mature offensive line going into the game, and that center went down, and they still executed. Heck, the next play, they pop a 20-yard touchdown with Corum.
Right.
It's just kind of systematic.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just it, the continuity that they've got in the offensive line, and then somewhat, you start to think, you hate to see an injury, but you also look at it strategically for just a moment and go, well, this isn't the worst thing that could happen for a Buckeyes team, and then just all the wind out of the sails on the touchdown run from Corum there, who played a great game as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was his first healthy game against Ohio State, and kind of showed how he can ball out against any team in the country. Yeah, and this is something that Michigan's done with everybody. Kind of this boa constrictor is what they're calling it, sort of offense, where they get just a big enough lead, and then they do exactly that. Yeah. 7-minute possessions, 14-minute play possessions that just drain the clock. They wear your defense down. They're demoralizing. Your quarterback's on the sidelines, just wanting the ball back. I never understood why they always said that, as the offense has the ball longer, the defense wears out more. To me, it's like, if I'm an offensive lineman, I'm in every rep. At least defensive linemen get to rotate out. I don't know how that made sense.
Well, I think that, maybe that's since been a kind of a thing of the past, now that you're mentioning it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me and McManus talked about that the other day.
That's a
good time to bring it up.
Yeah, it is a great time to bring it up, as a matter of fact. And I didn't pay attention to the rotations that Ohio State was using. I did see that they were shifting in and out, defensive personnel pretty regularly on that front to try to combat what Michigan was doing, but I don't think it mattered. I think Michigan up front was just more talented, and they just execute better, dude. And maybe it's not even more talented, because at the end of the day, you look at these stats here. I mean, average yards per carry, Ohio State got 3.8, Michigan had 4.
Yeah.
Average yards per rush, average yards per pass, Ohio State 8.6, Michigan 8. Right. Third downs, Ohio State 4 for 9.
That was a big one, I thought.
4 for 9.
Yeah.
Michigan 3 for 13.
But man, that first drive that Michigan was just balling out on 4th down.
Absolutely. Okay. So that's really the difference in the game, though, is those 3 for 3 on 4th downs. The McCord interception early on in the game that I think that ball had no business being thrown personally. It was a 3-by-1 set. It was an RPO look. Harrison's defender had inside leverage. If you look at what Trevion's positioning would have been, you had 4 guys out there, hat on hat. I think Michigan makes that play about 6 yards, but you're not turning it over on first down. So, and then the missed field goal, right? And that one is kind of on Ryan Day, I think, a little bit. You
could have definitely got him closer.
I think so, too.
Could have got him a lot closer.
I think so, too, but...
I'm going to call that one down to bad execution.
Yeah.
Or bad coaching. That was
that one's bad coaching, but Ryan Day pregame said that this one come down to the turnover battle. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, he was right, and we were on the wrong side of it as Buckeye fans. But Michigan definitely looks like the best team in the country. I thought maybe that they were slacking a little bit coming into the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But McCarthy can do just enough to get, or McCarty. McCarthy, can do just enough to get them across the hump. I mean, he's a perfect complement. He's gritty. He can make the play with his legs. He can use his arm. I mean...
Yeah, he's a very Michigan quarterback.
He is. So I think that this Michigan team, I think regardless, is a top 4 team.
They're going to smack up Iowa next week and head to the college football playoffs.
Yeah. So let's look at this a little bit, Bub. What does this loss mean for Ryan Day and really just the Buckeyes program moving forward, do you think?
It's bad losing 3 times to Michigan in a row.
That's tough.
Like, personally, I don't really care about it, but I know, like, the Buckeye fans, like, around the world are just, like, going crazy about it. To me, it's just, like, you lost to another team. Like, his record's still, what, 56-7?
Yeah, so I'm tired of the John Cooper comparisons.
Different eras,
those are out of hand. John Cooper, respectfully, 111, 43-4. Mm-hmm. We got Ryan Day, 56-7. Ryan Day is winning almost 90% of his games.
Correct.
John Cooper winning just over 70% of his games.
But it's also the era.
It's a completely different era of football.
Well, I think it's also the more talented players you get, like as we've grown generations, the players get more and more talented. You kind of see that spreading gap between like your big Power 5 teams and then like your smaller teams. So you're not really... You're kind of getting easier
the level
wins
of competition
in the season.
Right.
The level of competition overall throughout the season, I don't think is as close now as what it was in the 70s, 80s.
Sure.
You didn't have those. You did have super freak athletes, but it was, needle in a haystack.
Sure. I'm with what you're saying there. But so you don't think Day is on the hot seat, or is he on the hot seat?
I mean, I think he is on the hot seat. If you want my opinion, I don't like the way he coaches in big games. The only big game I've ever liked him coaching in is last year against Georgia.
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel like he's very laid back in his coaching. He's not very aggressive at times. He should be aggressive.
Yeah.
So I would like to see him more aggressive. He said he was going to be more aggressive against Michigan, and I didn't see that. I didn't see the aggressiveness.
Yeah. So. Well, maybe we saw the aggressiveness on the first down throw that McCord was. Maybe that aggression was trying to get the ball to Harrison when really they shouldn't. Right. I mean, that could be it. Right. I mean, who knows? Maybe that's not on McCord as much. Who knows what that preparation is? I mean, it's a first down. You're just coming off the sidelines. I've had coaches tell me, hey, we're going to run an RPO, but your job is get the ball like right now. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's a great point that you brought up, and that's possible too. So, I mean,
if you're going to get Marvin the ball, just throw it downfield.
I agree with that too.
Throw it downfield.
I agree with that too, but you've got to also keep it within scheme on first down too. So I see it both ways. I hope Day keeps his job. I think he's done enough to keep his job. With all of the back and forth, and I don't think you get rid of a guy who is winning 90% of his games in a year. You won't have a quarterback, and you don't have a quarterback. So I would like to see him stick around one more year. I would like to see what we can get in the portal, because we've had good luck in the portal, right? We got Fields a few years ago. Maybe we can pull someone like that.
McCord next year, senior year. I mean,
correct, but maybe we don't.
I think that's very likely.
That's probably more likely. Mm-hmm. I agree with that, but I'm saying maybe we start to see a little bit more aggressive approach. To see. So who knows? But anyway, a great game nonetheless. An instant classic, I would think. Unfortunately, didn't go the way of Buckeye fans. But hey, we live, we learn, and we move forward. And we're going to move forward right now, keeping it with the Buckeyes. Bub, our buddy Matt Hump. Mm-hmm. He's a Buckeye now. Did you know that?
Yes.
I know you knew that. And they are going to Pittsburgh this weekend to Chatham University. The national championship, Bub. And they're going to be taking on number 1, Central Georgia Technical College.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I didn't know who they were playing in the Natty.
Yeah, they are playing Central Georgia Technical College, and that was a
good luck with that one. I ain't going to try.
And this is going to be an absolute banger of a game. The number 1 team in club football versus the number 2 team in club football. Matt Hump. He's fired up about it.
Yeah.
He's real fired up about it. And here's what Matt Hump had to say when we asked him just a few questions on how he's feeling heading into the national championship this weekend in Pittsburgh, Bub.
I'm just feeling super excited. I've really been reflecting back on everything, and it all seems to be coming back full circle with the national championship being in Pittsburgh about 25 minutes away from RMU, so it just seems kind of surreal to think about it that way. That's what Matt Hump had to say when we asked him about his emotions leading up to the game.
Obviously, Matt Hump, he's fired up, bub. And I know that we're fired up for Matt Hump. We want him to get the ring.
Yeah. Love to see a Jackson boy go and get a national championship.
Love to see it. We'd love to see him go back to Pittsburgh where it all kind of began for him. Robert Morris and really bring that story full circle. So Matt, we're rooting for you here on the 740 Sports Show. Go get it done. Buckeyes Club Football, Coach Grega, Coach Baring, all you guys who have been awesome. Go get it done. Go win a national championship. We're rooting for you here on the 740 Sports Show. We're going to keep talking college football now. Bub, your top four. The top four is yours.
Now, are you wanting the top four going into the playoffs?
Who you think coming out of championship weekend
who goes
is going to make it? I know who the top four teams are right now. We all know who they are. I want you to predict the future and tell us who's going to make it into the top four and how are they getting there, bub.
Georgia beats Bama convincingly.
They're going to lay in the 1 seed.
Yeah, Georgia beats Bama convincingly. I know you're a big
That's
Bama
harder than
fan.
Central Georgia Technical College.
Yeah, that's fine because I know you're a big Bama fan this year. So
I can at least say that convincingly.
Michigan rolls over Iowa. I don't think there's really any competition there.
Okay.
They take the 2 spot.
Does Iowa score a touchdown in this game?
No.
You don't think so? You don't have Iowa scoring a touchdown?
No.
In a Big Ten championship game.
Michigan's former quarterback, who is now at Iowa, was playing, but I think he's hurt still. McNamara. Cade McNamara.
Oh, yeah.
So in the 3 spot, that's where it starts to get tricky. It's going to be the winner of Oregon and Washington, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Washington. I think Washington gets the 3.
Okay, still on the big Phoenix energy in Washington, bub. We love it. Okay. And then
I really want to say Florida State goes down, but I don't think they do. They got
Louisville,
who just lost Kentucky. Oh my God. I think,
but they're also battling with their backup quarterback.
I guess you put them in there. I don't think they lose to Louisville. I think
college football is amazing.
I think you got to put them in there.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So then you got Oregon out.
I think Oregon loses.
The Buckeyes
to
out. Texas out. Alabama out. All of them.
Texas is not in a good spot already because they're going to get jumped by Ohio State no matter what. Because Ohio State's sitting at the 6. Yeah, no, Texas is 7. Yeah, so they're going to get bumped out by Ohio State. Or at least the committee's already said that, unless they beat Oklahoma.
Ohio State can move up by not playing a game, and it looks like there's a very possible chance that they could jump 2 spots even by not playing a game, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Ohio State gets in this year.
I mean, crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
My upset of the week, bub.
I mean, Ohio State did, if they were to lose against Michigan, they did the best job possible.
Yeah.
For them.
Okay, so let's talk of any of these games, because we know that Washington, Oregon, flip a coin, right? That's your biggest toss-up matchup of the Power 5 championships, I would say. Take that one out of the equation. What's your most likely upset in the championships? Michigan, Iowa. You got Louisville, Clemson. Or not Louisville, Clemson. Louisville, Florida State.
Louisville, Florida State.
You think so?
I mean, if you want to do like Oklahoma versus Texas, if that's
Georgia, Alabama.
I don't know. Do they have a Big 12?
Georgia, Alabama's possible.
No.
You could see an.
I honestly don't.
See an upset.
I don't see it.
You could.
Alabama's gonna get rolled like the Tide itself.
Possible.
Yeah.
4th and 31.
But yeah,
anything's possible.
I'm just more so thinking Washington beats Oregon, Michigan beats Ohio State, right? I don't think Washington's a better team than Michigan. So why is Oregon ahead of Ohio State? And I'll tell you why. It's because freaking Bo Nix is 8th year. Continue.
We don't really need this to be the
I need Phoenix to ball out this week. For the bet.
Balls.
Penix and balls out.
We don't need this to be the podcast where we start criticizing people for how long they go to college.
It's not that. It's just he's ruining my bet. And it's making me
bet on him. Stop betting against him. I won money betting on him. Stop betting against him.
Penix beat him head to head. He's gonna do it again. No, I'm not. All right, let's move on.
Let's move on. That's Bub's top 4. The chaos that's going to be. Good luck with that committee. We're going to go to the NFL, Bub.
Yep.
Where things are much easier to talk about. NFL, they've got their Hall of Fame semi-finalist lists, and we took a quick peek at that. And, Bub, who are your 3 most deserving? And I'll give you mine shortly thereafter.
First is 100% Willie Anderson.
Okay.
He is the best right tackle of his era.
I would also like to point out that Willie Anderson is a fan of the 7 Florida Sports Show. Maybe.
Or just your comments.
We try. He's got interesting content.
No, I love
He's a football guy.
Yeah, he's very good at teaching offensive lineman techniques as well. But yeah, I think what he did throughout his career, he had a stint where he played 9 Pro Bowlers in a row at defensive end and gave up 1 sack, and that 1 sack was to Bruce Smith.
Yeah, that's not a bad stat.
No, not at all. Second, I've got Antonio Gates.
Okay.
I think he has the most touchdowns of any tight end of all time.
I'm not sure on the numbers.
I'm pretty sure.
But this is
why it's by a pretty big gap.
Well, I've got Antonio Gates on my list as well, but the reason why is if you listen to other Hall of Fame tight ends, he's on all of them.
Yeah, and he's on their list. Yeah, he's usually 2 or 3.
Right, yeah. So obviously that's a no-brainer. Kind of revolutionized the position. I don't want to say revolutionized it because of what Tony Gonzalez did with the receiving tight end, but Antonio Gates did it in a much different type of way.
Oh no, absolutely.
So obviously, yeah, that's he's on mine as well. I think he's got to get in there as well. And then you've got
Julius Peppers is my 3rd.
Yeah.
And
what college did Julius Peppers go to?
Miami.
I was going to say North Carolina. Or North Carolina State.
I'll have to look it up after this.
Well, now we got to. I was hoping you'd get it. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no. Still, 4th all-time in sacks. Yeah. It felt like he played forever, and I think he played 17 seasons. But he was just one of those defensive ends growing up. I remember seeing one of my friends have the Julius Peppers jersey, that old black jersey with the whatever color blue you want to call it, teal.
Yeah, so that's what that was my next question. When you think of Julius Peppers, do you think of him as a Panther?
That's what I see him as.
Yeah. I'm with you.
But no, he's just one of those guys I grew up watching and always appreciated watching, like what he does to people and his athleticism.
Yeah.
11 interceptions throughout his career. So
he was nuts. Obviously, so many deserving. I think they put out a list of 25. My first must get on this list, Devin Hester. Like, blows my mind. Like, that guy has to get into the Hall. Has to happen.
He was the best return specialist of all time.
Of all time.
It's not even close. If you don't put him in, then you're kind of just making a mockery of that position.
Correct.
So
yeah, for no reason.
That would be like not putting Justin Tucker in the Hall of Fame.
Correct.
That's how it would be.
So I think Devin Hester has to get in. Obviously, I mentioned Antonio Gates. He's in for me as well. Yep. And maybe a little bias here, but James Harrison.
It's James the memory Harrison. Of the 100-yard interception, isn't it?
Dude, it's the impact of that interception and how that shifted that game. So you can't tell the story of Pittsburgh Steelers without talking about James Harrison, and you can't tell the story of a Super Bowl without talking about James Harrison. Without Ben to Antonio or Santonio Holmes in the back of the end zone, that's arguably one of the greatest plays in Super Bowl history anyway.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
great maybe the greatest defensive play in Super Bowl history. You take the interception on the 1-yard line and the end zone out of it. That's a killer one. But man, so maybe a little bias there, but James Harrison, and just being the backbone of that defense and that heart and soul emotion guy, that leader, kind of Ray Lewis.
The shoulders and biceps too. That dude was huge.
Oh, the work ethic and the physique, nuts.
Yeah, he's a monster.
But just being that emotional guy for the Steelers for so long, so love that as well.
He was a Bengal too.
Yeah, well, for a year.
Yeah.
For a year. Not for long. Retire a Steeler. And, Bub, let me ask you this. We're going to keep it here in the NFL. Talk about Philly. Talk about the Eagles.
Yeah.
They're flying high right now.
They are 10-1.
10-1.
10-1.
10-1, and they are doing it snow, shine, rain. Kicker can kick it from 60. It don't matter.
Yeah, in that weather, too.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
That's unreal. We had a great time talking about this one. We were in different places, but we had a blast. And they can they beat anybody? Are they the best team in the NFL right now?
Yeah, I mean, they can beat anybody. I don't think that's any question about it. Can they do it consistently enough? And I think 10-1 kind of proves that. So
yeah.
I think they're the team to beat, and it's really not close.
Yeah.
So somebody's going to have to knock them off their pedestal.
Good luck. They spotted Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes 14 points each.
Yeah.
And got the win. It's crazy. It's crazy. Jalen Hurts might be the coldest, the most cold-blooded guy in the NFL.
He has no emotion.
Dude, he's crazy. He's crazy.
It's kind of weird at times.
A little bit, but he's very confident in himself, and that's what I want to see in my quarterback, man. He's confident, and if he makes a mistake, he can come back from it, so love that. Josh Allen finally got the ball in overtime first, and still took an L.
Yeah,
so
he can probably stop complaining about that.
Yeah, we'll go ahead.
They're slowly becoming a team I can't stand.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Unfortunate, too, because I really like Josh Allen and the Bills. Not that I hate Josh Allen. I just don't want to root for him.
I feel that. Well, I understand. I understand. Well, hey, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We're keeping it short and sweet tonight, Bub.
Yeah.
Episode 20, winding down. I got a quick question for you. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Cool. I got a quick question for you, though. I'd like to ask some questions on the Instagram and the Facebook. Did you know that?
I did. Yeah. I did know that one.
I know you did.
I frequent the Instagram.
I like that.
Facebook.
Fair enough. Well, we asked just a little bit of a question to some of our friends on our Facebook and the Instagram. What is a play that your team ran non-stop? So, Bub, I gotta know, what was a play that your team ran non-stop?
So I'm gonna go with a dump pass.
First of all, I gotta know like what team, like what age group, what team am I thinking of here? I gotta know my big Bub, little Bub.
Pee-wee. And here's why. It's not like we ran, the dump pass. We didn't run it all the time, but it was our only pass play, pretty much. So the frequency, whenever we passed, what that play was basically 100%. So we ran it, nonstop as far as passing. I couldn't tell you a single Pee-wee play other than that, or dozer left and dozer right. But,
okay.
So there you go. Those are the two that we ran nonstop because I remember them.
Yep. So Bub was a big fan of I Write 32 Dump Pass by the sound of it.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Yep. So we had I Write 32 Dump Pass.
I heard Dump Pass.
I Write Dozer Left was my favorite one because I could roll.
I Write right-handed. Okay, sorry.
Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah.
Dang, that was a good one.
I was thinking a little older, Bub. I was thinking a little older here, so I kept it semi-pro. I was a big fan of Q Power.
Okay. Yeah.
Q Power.
I remember watching a few games and seeing that a lot.
Every time.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it,
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if Chris Mavis is leading the way, you run behind that man because he was a mean dude. So thank you, Mavis. You were a great guy.
Mavis speak.
Yep. Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, Bub.
Yes.
There goes our dump pass. There goes our Q Power. Do you have anything else that you would like to add to this week's episode?
No.
Perfect.
I respectfully decline.
Perfect again.
But maybe on the next one.
Okay. Well, that's going to be it from you.
That's all from me.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's going to be it from Bub, and that's going to be it from me here. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Welcome. Not you. Thank you for watching. Also not you. And if you enjoyed this, share it. Like it. Subscribe if you enjoyed this one and want to enjoy more.
Subscribe. Good.
Thanks. If you want to enjoy more content, more of this, I was expecting. I can't.
You want me to send us off?
Please.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!